Yo, what is up, guys? This is your boy Zilla, and welcome to today's episode as I'll be giving my official review of the Suicide Squad movie that came out on HBO just over a week ago, and under the direction of James Gunn, try to get from up under the horrible 2016 movie and build a great reputation for one of the more interesting concepts in the DC universe. But before I get more into the video, please hit the subscribe button, also hit the notification bell so you get notification every time I make a video. And also, spoiler, I will be talking about key plot details and just basic stuff that happens in the movie, so watch out for that. And now let's get into this review. This movie is actually really good. I loved how James Gunn, you know, when they got him on, that they switched the type of movie that was going to be from a more serious movie like in 2016 to a more action comedy centric film, and I think they perfectly succeeded in that, having characters like Anaway, Bloodsport, and John Cena's character Peacemaker just made the movie so fantastic in its tone and already more successful than the previous entry, and just specifically the cast of characters they chose, except maybe the characters that died in the first scene, which in this movie I think a lot like the last one in that respect. It starts off very strong, and as the movie goes on, especially particularly like in like the second to third act, they start trying to get really serious with it, which I think takes the movie down a step because it's supposed to be an action comedy, and the weaker part of the movie is its baseline story that kind of falls apart during that period. So them focusing in on the thing that they're doing the weakest when there's really supposed to be a comedy and making everything kind of funny, it's either action or comedy, and then just dipping away from that, I think is a huge mistake and flaw for this movie. Also, on top of the fact that they misuse some of the characters in this movie, like having this movie be a comedy and not having Boomerang, who was arguably the best character from the previous Suicide Squad movie and more the comedy relief, not be with this squad of more comedic centric characters, is just kind of like a mistake on me. Them only having maybe 5 people, which kind of doesn't diversify the jokes enough, or you know, killing way too many people too soon, I think is another like small gripe I would have with this movie. But on the flip side, the main cast that they have were brilliant, not only in their chemistry but the dialogue that was given to them, and this is where James Gunn shines the most with, you know, Peacemaker and Bloodsport's rivalry, you know, Noway King Shark being the lovable dumb character of the film, Ratcatcher 2 being the heart and soul of the film in terms of just being the innocent character out of everybody. I mean, that whole main crew was did well except one person, and that is the worst character to me in the film, and that is Harley Quinn, who is so out of place in this film. It is actually kind of shocking because you could write her out of the movie and she really doesn't affect anything. Her parts weren't funny. She was away from the main cast for a good portion of the movie. The scenes that she was in didn't fit the like style of the movie at all. She only had one really good particular joke, and that was when Javelin died, and it was kind of like not even that funny in the first place. And her holding Javelin's staff is like, okay, like they kept going within the movie, and really other than that like scene where she broke out, there's really nothing else that she did in the film. She was kind of aimless until those particular scenes, and then afterwards she just kind of like useless. Like it was almost like she was absent from the movie, or she had so much plot armor until that useful scene. It was almost like she was only in the movie for that scene, which I think kind of just takes away focus from the other characters, especially the funny ones that died at the beginning that could have been used a little bit more and had her be with them a little bit more. But instead they kind of got rid of them, focused on the other crew, and then had, you know, freaking Harley Quinn go off doing something else, which took it away from the characters that were actually making the movie good and funny. Plus, on another side note, the main villain Starro was a pretty funny villain to add. I feel like they could have added a villain before that to kind of carry the movie through its first part before they got to Starro, so the movie would have a little bit of focus, but that's neither here nor there. The one big great thing about this film in the post-credit scene is that Peacemaker is still alive and he is getting his own series, which I'm really excited about. I think Peacemaker, to me, was the best character in the movie. And I think John Cena played him down to a T, basically being douchey Captain America with no morals. And it's going to be very interesting to see him in his own series. But just my overall thoughts on this movie, I think it is a 7 out of 10. A very, very solid entry into the DCEU. Very funny movie, half decent story, great characters, but some of its bigger flaws in terms of its mainline plot, just like the other Suicide Squad movie, and some questionable character depths and usage of characters hold this movie back from it being higher to me, but I still think it is a great movie worth watching. But guys, give me your thoughts in the comment sections below. What do you think about this movie? What would you give it out of 10? And most of all, who was your favorite character out of the whole film? And also, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, also hit the notification bell so you get a notification every time I make a video. And I will see you guys next time.